This right here is the new 2022 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. It's the most off-road capable Tundra of them all, but I'm not here to go off-road. I'm here to go to the lake. So I want to find out, how does it tow? Well, jump in with me. We can talk about it and go get the boat from the water. Look at this red interior. I don't want to adjust my seats. Okay. We need to buckle up. I already went about 55 miles and I'm averaging 11 mpg with a 6,000 pound boat. Okay, so I want to show you a few more details as I'm lying underneath the TRD Pro Tundra. Well, first of all, you could see the skid plate down here in the middle, but I want to focus attention to this red bar right there, which is the anti-sway or stabilization bar, and also the Fox shocks. So even though the Fox suspension really is designed to behave and to support many fast-speed off-road driving conditions, it's also pretty good for towing. And this is what I found out after about 105 miles of round-trip towing. It's a quite stable chassis, good platform. You could see the big and beefy frame. Cross members, ooh, some mud. That's not my doing. That was not my mud. But yeah, so suspension is quite good. Independent front, solid rear axle with a multi-link system and Fox shocks as well. So the chassis itself is very capable. And I also in this video will tell you how this truck tows, as far as, you know, how confident is it, how easy is it to tow a trailer like a boat. And I'll give you another look at my fuel efficiency. By the way, when I was driving this truck without the trailer, just by myself, I was getting around 18.5 miles per gallon. That's kind of daily driving it and also driving it on a highway. And on the way here towards the lake from our house, we were on the highway most of the time, which was going about 75 miles per hour on the highway and then doing about 5 to 10 miles through the city. Actually, this truck is pretty easy to control. This trailer, its axles are way behind me, so it's actually pretty easy for me to control. Big, huge tow mirrors. I love that. I can extend them. I can bring them closer in. I can do whatever I want. All right, there we go. There's a big diesel next to me to set my brake. Yep. All right. That was pretty easy. Very nice, thank you.
That was so easy with the truck.
There's also a little chain, safety chain there. Beautiful. What we usually need to do is pull away and then make sure the boat is centered on the trailer. That's how this trailer is kind of designed. The engine kicked in. It was kind of sitting there in electric mode, but right now the engine kicked in. Trailer brake controller is very easy to access, although it's blocked by the steering wheel when I'm driving. But I can kind of remember where it's at. So after a couple of minutes, I feel at home. Even though it's blocked from my vision, I can still, in emergency, squeeze the trailer brakes if the trailer begins to sway. Of course, I have not experienced this during this trip because it's perfectly dry, nice highway ride. Now, I also want to point out a couple of items I don't like. I do love the mirrors, but in order for me to operate the mirrors, I have to control it via two different locations. So this is the first one. To control the glass, I can fold and extend the mirrors here, but if I wanted to extend them, make them wider, it's a different button on the dash altogether. So that's not quite ideal. Even though the mirrors are very, very nice, there's two different sections here to control your mirrors, and it's not obvious. Now, I also want to address the question of driving modes. This truck, the new Tundra, comes with two tow haul modes, a regular one and the one that's called Tow Plus. And actually, most of my trip this weekend I did in eco mode. So what do I like about it? Well, I also used to own a 2021 Ford F-150 hybrid. And in that truck, I was able to maneuver at low speeds with no engine. And in eco mode, the Tundra also allows me to do this. So watch this. I'm on a side little road and I'm maneuvering, and I can see my electric motor actuation, and I'm going about 10 miles an hour in purely silent mode. And I like that for moving around parking lots or at the campsite where you don't want to wake people up next to you. You can kind of sneak in and out and use your battery power, because you do have 1.87 kilowatt hours of battery that's underneath the rear seat in this hybrid. And then instantaneously, when you need power, there, the engine comes on and you have all 437 horsepower that this total system has to offer. In tow haul mode, similar to the Ford F-150 hybrid, the engine is always on because I guess the manufacturer wants you to have all the power all the time. And the tow haul mode is very critical for going up and down mountainous or hilly terrain, because you want the best grade braking, the best way to slow down, the best use of your torque. You want all those things. But right here, I'm in the plains of Colorado, and I feel pretty comfortable just using eco mode and getting the maximum efficiency out of the system, and also having that silent ability. But definitely, if you're on any type of hilly terrain, I would definitely recommend tow haul mode without a question. Here's my result after about 105 miles of driving. It's 11.7 miles per gallon. Now I want to show you my trailer settings really quick. So I set my gain kind of high because my trailer is a little bit old and it doesn't respond very well, the brakes on it. So I have to set my gain 8 out of 10, 8.0. And in order to change some of my settings, I have to hold OK, select or edit a trailer, boat, what type of trailer, I can set it up. And this is kind of a small screen. Why do I have to do that there? And why can I not do it here? There's so much available space on the screen, yet it's just taken by this graph that's, in my opinion, is not very useful. And I also want to see my trailer and how many miles I've went with it, and when maybe I need to service my trailer, I can set reminders. There's just a little tiny section there. So I wish that setting and that configuration for my trailers would be here, and that I can also name my trailers with custom names. That would be a huge improvement. Here I am going at higher speeds, super stable. This truck doesn't lean much. The suspension is not just compliant, but also firm enough to handle this 6,000 pound trailer with no issues. So overall, I love this truck as a towing vehicle. Even though it has this fancy red interior that I'm still kind of on the fence about, it's a little bit too flashy for me. but it's fun. Everybody at the lake really wanted to see this truck because they wanted to see the interior and learn more about this Tundra. It's quite special. I think for off-road purposes, which is a whole other video, it needs more ground clearance, bigger tires. That's my opinion. But for towing and doing everything in one vehicle, I think it's super great. Its starting price is just over $69,000, but with the towing package, a couple of other options like the rear bumper step, the price as tested is just over $72,000. Yeah, it's pretty high, but when you compare it to a Ford Raptor, Ram TRX, those prices are way into the $80,000 plus range, and the Raptor R, of course, is at $110,000 plus. And when you consider that, and that the F-150 Tremor is also at about $72,000 with options, I think it's still quite a good deal for a truck, and still has lots of power, as you can see right now. Well, thanks for joining me on this little vacation, little lake run, towing review of the Tundra TRD Pro. I'll see you next time, and check us out at otfl.com for everything automotive in one place.